Welcome to my podcast, From Illness to Awakening. I'm Allison Bruner. I'm a somatic psychotherapist and a shamanic energy healer, as well as someone who has coped with and overcome many years of chronic illness. I'm here to support you on your path of spiritual expansion, which can come from the experience of chronic illness. As I record this, it is Gemini season. And I was away last week celebrating the holiday. And I noticed there was a little bit of angst in me that I wasn't sticking to this idea that's out there that we have to be consistent in posting on social media or platforms where we have some sort of audience. And I listened. I needed to listen to my inner guidance, something that has gotten louder for me through the years from being sick. I learned that, while we have all of these outer expectations, even ones that we put on ourselves, or these ideas of how we should be working, that the wisest parts of ourselves, the wisest voice comes from inside. And in Gemini season, there's this invitation to play. We're moving towards the longest day of the year in the northern hemisphere, the day when we have the most sunshine. Gemini season is this time in which we're invited to reconnect with others, to socialize, to play. And play was one of the aspects that for me was very healing. My teacher would always remind me, and using the Quechua term, pukliyai, Allison, pukliyai, don't be so serious. You don't have to take the spiritual journey so serious. You need to laugh. Pukliyai, bring in more pukliyai. And this is the time of year when I'm reminded of that most, when the sun is the brightest, when the days are the longest. And so I wanted to kind of reveal to you what my process, my thinking process was last week, and to share with you that it really is okay to not put expectations on ourselves and expect ourselves to be perfect and rigid. And summer is my favorite time of year, and I love to get outside. I love to be outside with my feet in the grass or on sand. I love to be near water, near lakes or the ocean, and I'll be doing a lot of that this summer. And so while my intention is to try and get something up for you once a week, I don't make that promise. I'm going to let my heart guide me and my body as well. So this week, though, I'm going to guide you through a somatic practice that, to me, is the most important to my emotional and spiritual hygiene. This was the one practice that, had I not used it while I was chronically ill for 8 years, I'm not sure I'd have experienced the personal evolution spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and physically that I had. Frankly, I think that I'd have been way worse off and probably still unwell. The purpose of this practice is to prevent you from repressing emotions and to deepen your relationship with yourself. It can soothe your nervous system, and undoubtedly will increase your self-compassion, your connection with yourself. It's pretty simple, and yet after I teach it to clients, almost everyone admits that they never make time to do it, because most of us are addicted to being busy, to thinking, to doing, and we don't make time for ourselves. So that's one of the not so funny and obvious gifts that come from illness, is that we finally have time for ourselves because we're too exhausted, run down, and sick to avoid a practice like this one. When we're laid out in our beds or on the couch, we might as well engage in this practice because this will build a bridge between who you are and what you're experiencing now to whom you are becoming and what else is possible for you and what you want to create. So I'm going to teach this to you in two parts. After the first part, we're going to, excuse me, take it to the next level. And I just want to add a quick note that if during this exercise you're feeling very strongly activated emotionally, or having a very strong emotional reaction that you feel you cannot tolerate, stop the recording and consult a professional for guidance. If it's taking you to an edge where there is strong emotion and you feel you can continue, something you can try is to notice where in your body you feel the strong emotion. You let that emotion know that you feel it, that you see it, that you're with it. Gather it up on your inhale and blow it to the sun as an offering, to the earth as an offering. You choose the earth or the sun, and do that 3 times. And just wait for a few moments until your body returns to a less activated state, a state that of more neutrality, before you continue the recording. Another thing that you can do is practice some emotional freedom technique. I'm going to do a whole other video on that, but I also have an emotional freedom technique or EFT tapping course on my website that I have made affordable to different levels of income. That's at AllisonBruner.com. Learn EFT tab on my website. There are also EFT tapping videos that are free on YouTube. Just pick one and just tap. Doesn't really even matter what the topic is, and that will help to lower the emotional activation that you're feeling. Also, as I guide you in this exercise to bring your awareness into your physical body and into physical sensations, if you are in a great deal of physical pain, then bring your awareness instead to a part of your body where there's either neutrality or some sense of comfort. And you can adapt this exercise to fit your needs. So take a few moments now to transition your awareness from your outer world to your inner world. Giving yourself time to be with you, with your breath, with your body. While simply noticing what you are experiencing in this now moment. Notice emotions that you're experiencing that you weren't aware of before in your busy life and in your conscious thoughts. Notice where physically in your body You're feeling these emotions. And for those of you who aren't noticing much, I'm going to encourage you to drop your awareness in more fully. Bring your awareness all the way down to your feet and very, very, very slowly scan up from your feet, allowing for the possibility that maybe there are emotions in the lower part of your body. Most importantly, please know that it's okay to feel whatever emotion you're feeling. And I'm going to invite you to let go of any judgment about the emotion and to let go of any need to do anything about or problem solve the emotion. You're just allowing it to be present and acknowledging it, letting it know that you are with it, that you feel it. Notice the physical qualities of the emotion. You might notice whether it feels heavy, solid, diffused, prickly, or otherwise. And even if it had a color, what color it might be. See if you can give yourself permission to feel every single tiny little component of that emotion in the way that you experience it physically. Again, without having to intellectualize or understand it or come up with any sort of solution for it, or need to get rid of it. See if you can breathe right into the center of the emotion and exhale out of it. Giving yourself a few breaths to ride this wave of emotion without resisting it, judging it, vilifying it, or making it something that's wrong or not okay to experience. If you would like to make physical contact with this part of your body where you're feeling the emotion, go ahead and place one or both of your hands there, as though your hands are saying to the emotion or to the physical sensation, we are right here with you. You're not alone. It's okay to feel this way. Allowing your hands to express compassion and be present with your experience. Notice what happens or what has already happened with that emotion as your hands have made contact or as you have been present with it. Notice whether it has changed or stayed the same. Maybe the physical sensations of it have changed or the color of it has changed. If nothing at all has changed, that's okay. There's no right or wrong way to go about doing this. Notice whether this emotion has words or an image it wants to share with you. If it were to speak to you or express itself to you from its point of view, what might the words or the images be? Maybe it sends you a new emotion. see if you can refrain from giving it advice or counseling it. This is a practice in which you are learning to be present to yourself, unconditionally compassionate, without solving the problem of the emotion. There is no problem here. And allow the emotion to express to you now, or the physical sensation, what it is that it needs from you right now and or going forward. You might ask it directly, what do you need? So what was this like for you? If you, like most people on this planet, did not grow up in a household with caretakers who knew how to be present with whatever you were feeling, especially with emotional distress, who couldn't listen without giving advice, who didn't know how to soothe you and model to you how to soothe yourself, then this exercise might have been really weird or uncomfortable. And that's okay. The first time we really allow ourselves to feel uncomfortable emotions without resisting them or treating them like a problem to be solved, it can feel strange and it can feel amazing too at the same time. If, like you grew up feeling a lot and were very emotional and never felt safe feeling those stronger emotions, it could have felt a little scary, which is why I advise you to get support from someone who can help you to cope with those stronger emotions if necessary. In the most extreme cases, I refer people to practitioners of what's called dialectical behavior therapy, or DBT. And there are some great workbooks on DBT online and in bookstores, so you can begin to learn emotional regulation skills. Now I want to make this even more relevant to those of us who are experiencing chronic illness. However, you can apply what I'm about to teach to any aspect of your life that you want to change, where you want to create something entirely new or different, to any realm in which you feel you might be caught in a family curse or an ancestral wounding that keeps looping in some way or playing out in repeated patterns that you may have seen your parents and your grandparents living through, like toxic relationships, financial lack, addictions, failed businesses, homelessness, and so on. This practice helps you to disidentify with and thus liberate yourself from aspects of yourself that are hurt and that are limited in their scope of what they are able to experience in life, because they are rooted in old programs limiting beliefs, conditioned behaviors, and patterns that are incapable of accessing the realm of infinite possibility. Let's come back to the example of physical illness. So there is a version of you, not all of you, that is experiencing chronic illness. Yes? Otherwise, you probably wouldn't be listening to this. And have you ever noticed that I keep saying experiencing chronic illness throughout the past several videos? I never say have physical illness or you are ill. That is because I am discouraging you from identifying with the illness. I was taught very early on by my teacher, by my shamanic guide, to not claim the illness or be the illness. She would even say that, when I shared with her that I had been diagnosed with something by a doctor, she would encourage me to think of it as something that's at least a football field away, if not miles, and, kind of refer to it as they say that I'm experiencing such and such diagnosis. So, the part of you that is experiencing chronic illness is not who you are, nor is it who you are becoming. Even if you were to experience physical illness until you take your last breath in this lifetime, there is a higher, to speak in a linear way, version of you, an eternal you, your essence, if you will, who is perfectly healthy and well and is not confined to your physical body or this 3D world. But it is within you, always, ever present, ever compassionate, ever loving towards you. It loves you. It appreciates and has great respect for the experiences that you're having as a human. It's especially grateful to your physical body for being the vessel through which it gets to have a physical experience. It doesn't judge you or believe that you're good or bad. It gets to learn so much about this vibrational reality, about being human and having human experiences of all kinds through you. It guides you. It is you. But most of us identify with the aspects of ourselves that are broken and in need, lacking in some way, hurting in other ways. Together, we are all embodying little by little more and more of our infinite self, our essence. But we're doing it slowly, gradually, integrating it just a little at a time. Otherwise, we could really harm the physical body, letting in too much light too fast. We go through a massive ego death, and we need our egos to function in this world, to do math, to experience ourselves as individuals rather than losing ourselves in one massive collective consciousness. And we'd also just short circuit our physical bodies. We're already, in fact, feeling the evolutionary challenges of being blasted more and more frequently with strong geomagnetic storms or solar flares. Where I'm getting at with this is as follows. I'm inviting you to alternate between feeling like the one who is sick physically and in distress emotionally and mentally, to then stepping outside of that identity and being the one who witnesses yourself experiencing illness, witnessing your physical body and your emotional body. This is a little bit different from being the no feeling, totally quiet, still witness that we access in formal meditation. We're stepping into the essence of who we are, a version that is loving, compassionate. Our spirit, which is inextricably linked with Great Spirit or God. It's who you are when you leave your physical body through death. This aspect of you is here now, always, and I'm inviting you to become aware of it right now. And you might notice that as you do, you start to feel a tingling sensation through your body or not. Um, Most of it is outside of your physical body, but a great deal of it is in your physical body as well. You can even invite more of it to come into your body, embody more of it, and allow it to observe and be compassionately present to the you who is experiencing the emotional, mental components of your reality, and then also present to your physical body, which is experiencing pain or fatigue or nausea or etc. As you engage in this practice for at least 5 minutes every single day, or 30 or 60 if you can. I mean, if you're too sick to be getting around much or doing much, this is a perfect practice. But you will embody more and more of your infinite self, your spirit, as you do this, the one who does not experience physical illness. What will happen as a result is that the egoic structure, experiencing lack, distress, limitation, the emotional components of illness, will start to destabilize. And that is when that egoic structure is going to need the infinite, compassionate, loving you the most. Because it will feel itself losing its grip on you as you identify with it less and less. It'll feel that its life is in danger, that it really is in danger, because it will do all that it can to convince you that you cannot change, that you cannot feel better, that you cannot experience the reality that you're wanting to create. Because the truth is that the egoic structure cannot experience the new reality you are creating. And the more you move into that reality, the more you destabilize the egoic structure, and eventually it collapses. When you identify more and more with your essence, this ego structure will crumble and transform and be reborn as a new egoic structure, one that is based on more of the reality that you are creating. It can feel like you've gone through a mini ego death, a transformation, a rebirth, and an integration. And it can be uncomfortable. But to me, nothing is more uncomfortable than staying stuck in an old egoic structure that cannot access all that is possible in the realm of infinite possibilities and miracles, including total health and wellness. So you can do this exercise in 3 ways. You can keep it super simple. Simply be your infinite self, breathing into and out of the spaces in your body where you feel the distress, the pain, the illness, the sorrow, the disappointment, or other emotions of the old egoic structure. You don't try to get rid of that human aspect of you, of that egoic structure. You are being with it, compassionate towards it, feeling its emotions and breathing into and out of them. And then this is important. You are saying to the version of you that is experiencing illness that the things that you wish someone else would say to you, those words of love and compassion, of acknowledgement of its pain. You're not giving advice or guidance. You're simply saying, yes, I know. I hear you. I'm so sorry that you're uncomfortable, that you're scared, that you're worried, that you're angry. I am with you. But you do not get wrapped up in its stories or its logic. You don't follow it anywhere. You don't problem solve it. You stay present and loving. Your second option is that you can journal between those three versions of you: the body, the egoic structure, and your essence or higher self. I would encourage you, though, to end that exercise with words from your higher self so that you can identify with the higher self more, or your essence. Or third, you can set up a Gestalt therapy type psychodrama experience by either picking out three objects in the room to represent your physical body, the emotional, mental aspect of your egoic structure, and your higher self or essence. Or choose three chairs and alternate sitting in each chair. In one chair, you are the physical body, expressing what you want to express. You, in the next chair, you are the egoic structure that is comprised of the emotional and mental aspects of you. And in the third chair, you are the higher self or the essence. And you want to end with the higher self's perspective or words. So I will leave you to that exercise to do on your own. I hope that all of this was clear. And if you have questions, reach out to me at AllisonBruner.com. You can also book a 30-minute session with me if you want me to answer any questions or if you want support. I can offer shamanic energy healing to help move some of that slower, stickier energy that can be weighing you down and culminating in the experience of physical illness. I can also book a longer session with you. Stay tuned next week for a special 3-part interview with naturopathic doctor and functional medicine practitioner, Dr. Rhonda Larson. We're going to be talking about the mind-body-spirit connection and how important it is to address our emotions, our childhood traumas, and ancestral wounds when healing our physical bodies. Until then, get out into the sunshine if you can. If all that you can do is lie on a blanket or sit in a chair, I promise you that it will make a world of difference. For years, that's how I spent my summers. When I was too tired and too sick to move, just, open your heart, open your crown, and receive those healing codes from the sun. And put your bare feet in the grass or the dirt or the sand and offer any heaviness to the earth and allow her to hold you with love. I am sending you blessings and prayers for ease and grace until I see you next time. And as always, thank you for listening.